The American people have seen what's going on at the border. The American people have decided what they're seeing at the border is nothing they want anything to do with. They're done with it. And they reject it. And the border has become the number one issue this election year for many. And for Democrats to come out and suggest in any way, well, this surge began when Donald Trump was president. No, it didn't. Stop it. Just stop. If Donald Trump had been given his wish, a border wall would have been built. But you call that racist. You think it's better to put American citizens last in line. You think it's better to take schools in New York and Chicago and who knows where else that we don't hear about, and house illegals from all over the world that speak 25 different languages, none of which are English, none of which are the language of this United States of America that we live in, none of it. You're asking the taxpayers to put up $600 billion or more, significantly more actually, to cover the cost of these people coming in. You allow these people to have drunk driving offenses, to have violent criminal activities, to have violent sexual assaults against American citizens, and yet you release them back to the world. And you think that it's a good idea to reach a deal where we only just 4,000 or 5,000 a day to come in. John Jay was the Secretary of Homeland Security under Barack Obama. He said if you had 1,000 a day, it was a bad day. We've had days now of 15,000. And under this new bipartisan deal, you'll have 4,000 or 5,000. Oh, and what do we get in return? If our members of the Senate and our members of Congress agree to this, what do we get in return? Oh, the ability to fund a war that we shouldn't be involved with. The warmongers, of course, 3 Americans were killed and 25 injured after an attack on a base, an American base in Jordan near Syria. And people like Lindsey Graham and others calling for the immediate attack on Iran. These people who will never be in a war, whose children will never be in a war, who will never be directly impacted by a war, want us to go to war. The warmongers are a disgusting bunch who themselves are never at risk, whose families are never at risk, ever. But they're more than willing to put us out there. Oh, we must go to war. That seems to be their answer all the time. We must fight Russia. We must fight Iran. We must get in a war in Taiwan with China. Get in a war with everybody. How about the Monroe Doctrine? How about we just say, look, we'll have a few bases around the world, but we don't need 180 of them. Now with today's technology, we don't need 180 military bases around the world, except that it's enriching certain congressional districts because that guy's equipment gets to go to that base in whatever country. And it's all about the money. Follow the money, and you'll figure out why we have bases in so many places. But in a world where you can use the technology and AI the way we can now, we can have some pimple-nosed kid sitting in South Dakota running drones up the enemy's backside on the other side of the planet. That's why we have Predator drones. We don't need to have people in every place all the time. We have technology that can do that and do it quite well, thank you. But the warmongers, they want something different. The warmongers want something different. So anyhow, back to the Senate deal. Terrible deal. To send more money to war zones that we don't want to have any involvement with, at least I don't. Linking money to the Ukraine border security. Speaker Mike Johnson calling this dead on arrival, but it's left the door open for further negotiation.